Today, we're diving into a code that some believe is literally woven into the fabric of reality. A language written not with words, but with numbers. It's a question people have been asking for centuries. What if the numbers that run our world also hold a hidden message? A deeper purpose? Okay, let's get into it. Here's what we've got lined up. We'll start with the code itself, then follow a clue to the Fibonacci sequence. We'll see how it might connect to constants like pi, then link to biblical figures. We'll explore the weird significance of the number 216, and finally we'll ask the big one. Is this a cosmic design, or just a series of incredible coincidences? So what is the key that supposedly unlocks this entire puzzle? Let's start right there. It's called Gematria. It's this ancient practice, mainly from Hebrew and Greek traditions, where letters are also numbers. The core idea is that if different words or phrases add up to the same number, they're secretly connected, revealing a hidden layer of meaning just below the surface.
Now, what's really interesting is where our source material kicks this all off. We're not starting with some ancient text. We're starting with a specific number from a famous mathematical sequence.
Our whole journey begins with the 12th number in the Fibonacci sequence, 89. According to the source, this number, which seems pretty random, holds a really peculiar secret. Okay, check this out. It's kind of wild. The source shows that if you take the Fibonacci sequence, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, and so on, and you stack them like this, shifting each one over a decimal place, the number you get when you add it all up is the decimal expansion of 1 divided by 89. I mean, what? It's this bizarre mathematical property that creates a 44-digit repeating cycle, and it's our first clue that maybe numbers are connected in some very unexpected ways. So that's a pretty cool party trick for the number 89. But the source material claims this isn't just some isolated quirk. Nope. This is supposedly just the tip of the iceberg, a thread that leads us to the fundamental constants of the universe, numbers like pi, phi, and e. And this is where things get really dense. For instance, the source points out that the gematria for the 4th verse of Genesis, the one about separating light from darkness, is 1776. Unbelievably, if you go to the 1776th decimal place of pi, the number you find is 432. The web gets deeper, too. The gematria for the Hebrew word for sun is 640. Well, guess what? The very first time the number string 888 shows up in pi, it starts at the position of the 640th prime number. It's just a cascade of these connections that seem to tie scripture to these universal numbers. And now, the whole investigation pivots and starts applying these same numerical patterns to some of the most important figures in the Bible. In Greek, the name for Jesus, Isus, has a very specific gematria value. That value is 888. And this number, well, it becomes a central piece of this entire numerical code. So the big question is, where does 888 pop up? According to the source, if you do a very specific calculation, multiplying the 89th and the 109th Fibonacci numbers, you get this enormous 41-digit number. And right inside that massive number, 888 appears. Not once, but twice. And there it is. The source highlights this as being just incredibly unlikely. I mean, think about it. For a 3-digit string to show up twice in a 41-digit number that was calculated this way, it's presented as a statistical long shot, something that points to more than just random chance. And the pattern just keeps expanding. Take Abraham. His name in Hebrew has a gematria of 248. Now, if you go to the 248th Fibonacci number, the source claims you'll find that same string again, 888. It's like these connections are starting to layer on top of each other, linking these key figures through the Fibonacci sequence itself. All right, let's bring in another major player in this code, the number 216. This is a number that supposedly builds a bridge from ancient Greek philosophy all the way to biblical prophecy. So on one hand, you've got 216 as Plato's number. Mathematically, it's 6 cubed, 6 times 6 times 6. But on the other hand, the source points to its importance in the Bible. The phrase vanity of vanities from Ecclesiastes has a gematria of 216. It's even connected to biology as the minimum number of days for human gestation. But maybe the most incredible claim comes from the book of Revelation. It says the wall of the New Jerusalem is 144 cubits. Now, the source makes a key conversion here. It claims that if you use the length of an ancient royal cubit, 144 of them is the same as 216 modern feet. a direct line from this mystical number to a prophetic vision.
So, where has this trail of numbers actually led us? We've jumped from pure math to ancient scripture, from Plato's Greece to the fundamental constants of our universe.
Let's just quickly retrace the path. It all kicked off with a weird property of the Fibonacci number 89. That clue led us to find what looked like echoes in fundamental numbers like pi. From there, we connected specific values, like 888, to major biblical figures. And then we saw how other key numbers, like 216, seemed to crisscross this whole web from totally different fields.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Are these connections just us finding patterns in a sea of infinite data? Our brains are wired to see patterns, right? Or, as the source suggests, are we actually seeing the faint outlines of a blueprint, a cosmic design written in the language of math itself? The numbers are there. Whether they actually mean something, well, that's the real question, isn't it?